Now, Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm your host, Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And good morning to all my South Shore neighbors. Yes, you are hearing my voice. This is Sharon McNamara, and I am here with my co-host. She's my co-host, Melissa Wallace. She's certainly not my guest. She is actually the host. So happy to be back here. I was back a couple weeks ago, but here I am again, all ready for fall. So thank you for joining us, of course. Hello, Melissa.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. And of course, for all of our WATV listeners, we have our favorite producer in-house. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Sharon. Apologies on not knowing who was in the building today.
That's okay.
We got to get you on our newsletter.
I guess, yeah. I thought I heard Melissa say last week she was going to have a guest. I don't know.
Well, usually
she
does. That's what happens around here. But right. I am here. Yes,
Yay!
I am. Yay! And we're all ready for fall, and this is your jam.
Fall's my jam.
Fall's your jam, and I don't know who's been sitting at my microphone, but tell them stop touching my stuff.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I've had to be touching the stuff because for some reason, whenever Sue Bollinger comes on, it's like she's
afraid to be near the microphone.
She's afraid of the microphone,
yeah.
So she's like, talking out in the
it's
hallway,
the
and I'm like, come back in,
yeah.
come back in.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, Tracy Grady was on last week. Both full-time realtors here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and she just talking away, and I just kept pushing it. Yeah, like here you go, don't be afraid.
Yes.
But
next step is headset mics. What do you think? Yep. Look like sportscasters. Put the big mics on.
Sportscasters. we can.
Oh, like Madonna. I mean,
yes, Madonna.
Like Mike
there you go. Yeah.
Who? Mike Vrabel. Isn't that the coach of the Patriots now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. He has a headset.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can get them. Well, let's look into them.
All right.
But I feel like I have.
I was only joking. I was half serious. No. You have microphones. They sound great. Don't make changes just because I say something. No.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Is what he's saying.
Yeah,
don't
a little
touch
bit. A little bit.
Exactly.
Oh,
So it's been busy summer here, and with the show you've been doing a great job with all the guests. So I just want to send out again. I know I was here a couple weeks ago, but thank you so much to Susan Bollinger, Tracy Grady, Kristen Howlett for joining you this summer. Of course, they're all full-time real estate agents here at Boston Connect Real Estate. They do such a great job, not only on the radio show, but in their business. And I'm super grateful for them that we were able to have that time. I was able to have some time off this summer to spend, most recently, over the summer with, enjoying the boat and lifing and all that stuff and weddings, which were beautiful. Unfortunately, there was some family death that happened, and then and my dad. So it's been a whirlwind of a couple weeks for us. So, So what are we talking about today?
Well,
Enough about that, because it's all I've been consumed with since September 28th.
Yeah, life is heavy right now, but we're going to talk about fall. So we're calling it maintenance, staging, and strategy for sellers in the fall. So every year we do shows on the springtime, summertime, fall, and winter. So here we are. It's going to be fall. I think September 22nd. Is that the first?
When's daylight savings and all that? Usually I'm really good about knowing all that. Is that October? Is that closer to
fall back? So I think maybe in October.
Is it?
I don't know.
I'm sure we can find that out.
Yeah, but yeah, so we always around this time we do a show about fall, and especially about maintenance, because it's still beautiful out. So you can get those, maintenance things done outside and not have to worry about freezing in the middle of winter. And you want to get these things done beforehand. Mm-hmm. And, we talk about strategy in the sense that, okay, if you were planning on coming on the market, how can we sort of gauge, okay, if you get an offer at this point and then you get a closing date of this point, could you be out before the holidays or in before the holidays or anything like that? So we come up with some strategies.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because for all the years that I've known you, you've always said fall's my jam. Fall's my jam. That's I always think of that when the fall comes. Now I've always been like, oh, it's always sad for me because I love the summer so much and I love those summer months. But I have to tell you, yesterday I was visiting my dad, and my dad's in the hospital. For everybody who cares about my personal life, he's back in Beth Israel right now, and I got out of the car last night, or maybe it was yesterday or the day before, or yesterday morning. I don't remember when I was there, but it was either yesterday or the day before, and I was like, wow, this weather. If you could put a 10 on a weather forecast, I felt like that would have been that day. The air is crisp, it's fresh. And I know in the spring we always say that's like it's all anew, but it really felt anew to me. You know what I mean? Like just that nice, crisp, fresh air in my lungs. It just felt really good. So I guess fall will be my jam in my old age.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't particularly care for snow, but the first snow of the year where it's like, okay, now it's the changing of the season. It's the crisp air, it's the coldness coming down. And then you're like, oh God, now I got to shovel this.
It's funny that you say that, because you did this wonderful agenda this morning and I was reading through it, and what a question prompted in my head. And I was like, I wonder over the last 20 years, when was what is the first snowfall for the last 20 years? What month does it fall in Boston? I just used Boston as an indicator because I know that they have all those things over there.
Did you look it up?
I did. So I want to ask you and Tim what you think.
Okay, so
don't look at my screen.
I won't.
ChatGPT was helping me.
I feel like the past couple of years have been pretty mild, so I'm gonna go later, January.
Okay, that would actually be earlier in a year, but
no,
I get
but
what
I'm
you're
saying
saying
later
in the winter.
in the winter.
In the winter, yeah. Tim, what are your thoughts? If he's still with us, I'm not sure. He might have had to step out. Sometimes he has to step out in between things, so I won't put him on the
That's
spot
exactly what I did. Yes, I stepped out. I'm sorry. What was the question?
No worries. No, I shouldn't have done that to you without any,
No, that's okay.
recourse. So we're talking about fall and maintenance and staging, and we were just talking about, the weather, and Melissa said something about snow. And earlier, right before the show started, I asked ChatGPT, because I was interested, when is typically what month do we get the first snowfall in Boston? I use Boston as the indicator just because they have all those gauges, I guess, over at Logan.
Yes.
So what do you think? She said January.
No. December. December. Sometimes late November.
Yeah. So I'm looking. I asked it to do the last 20 years. Interestingly, it fell asleep at 2019, and we'll rack up. But 2004, it was December. 2003, it was December. 2022, it was December. 21, it was December. 2020, it was October.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, and then it fell asleep from 2019. But then in 2012, it was November. 2011, October. 2010 was December, October. So I guess, so we could be getting snow next month.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Melissa, this is New England. We're just being realistic. Okay?
Yeah, let's
come on.
not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I do not want snow in October.
No.
But I remember...
But what if it's just a dusting? I'm not talking, it could just be like maybe a quarter of an inch. We're not talking about 2 feet here.
Yeah, it
it
gets
could be
people
okay.
excited too, though. Almost
Yeah.
like ready for the holidays
Oh,
and stuff
yes.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're having our holiday event here.
You want to be going through the snow during Halloween?
No, I don't. I don't do anything during Halloween anyway. So you'll be talking. Maybe we can start talking about some of our events and stuff coming up soon. But yeah, so that's anyway. Sorry about that, Tim. I didn't mean to
That's
call
okay.
you out
That's
like
okay.
that. So thank you for joining in.
Oh, yes.
And the reason why I thought about that is because when I was looking at your agenda, it's, some of the fall maintenance must-dos on your pre-list. One of them is about the roof and the gutters.
Yeah.
And I think, we had Mike Parks here with us from Mighty Mike's Gutters. He was on with us a couple months ago, and we talked about the importance of gutters. And do you want to give a little synopsis about that?
Yeah, so it's funny enough because I was on my back deck, I don't know, a couple days ago, and I stood up on a chair so I can see inside my gutters to see if I needed them to be cleaned
Be careful
out.
doing that, please.
I know, and Ethan wasn't watching, so I could do it. And it seemed to be fine. But it's something that now that I own a house, and I've heard horror stories from others, that's something that I want to do, at least twice a year, I think. But it's really preventative because, if the gutters and drains are there for a reason. It's to get water away from your house. So if those things are filled with debris and leaves, which they probably are, because if you have tall trees around you, that's, it goes down, like gravity goes down. So it's going to fall. And you want to make sure that those things are out so the water flows in the direction away from your house. And it can't do that if it's filled with stuff.
Exactly.
So where's it going to go? It's either going to pool or it's going to go where it's not supposed to, inside your house.
Yep. And when as it gets colder, if those gutters are filled with leaves and debris, and you know what?
Frozen water.
The birds, they make nests in there. But then what happens is when we get the rain and then it freezes, and then you can end up with ice dams and all kinds of stuff. I love doing these shows because it's so important to have maintenance. And when I'm a buyer's agent and I'm walking through people's homes, and my daughter's looking for a house out in Dallas right now too. And, it's interesting to see it through her lens right now. And of course we did it through your lens a couple of years ago now, but it's, you want to buy a house that that somebody's taken care of over the years, not somebody, and we've used this phrase before, no offense, people, like lipstick on a pig, like don't do things like last minute that are just done half butted. You want to do it, do it the right way. And when you do maintenance, every single, have a calendar for yourself. I love daylight savings. It's just sort of a good prompt when to do things in the spring and when to do things in the fall. It happens twice a year. I wish they would change that, but hey, I don't have that much. I don't have any power actually. So I think making sure that you get a professional out there, I think is really important, to have somebody get out there to clean those gutters out for you, check all the spouts, make sure your pitch is going the right way and everything, just to make sure that you don't get any damage.
And especially because, how many people go out on their roofs or go into their gutters, typical homeowners probably don't. They have somebody who do it for them.
Yeah.
So
and you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. So even if you're having your gutters cleaned, and this is what happened to me the first time I had mine done, was the person who cleaned out my gutter said, hey, I when I was up there, I actually noticed something going on with your roof. You might want to have it looked at. So had he not said that, I wouldn't have known. How am I supposed to know?
Yeah.
I'm not up there.
Well, it's funny because there's a section on our house when we're out in the pool yard, and we can look up. We have I guess, I don't know what it's called, a chimney stack type thing. Not for our rail fireplace, but for the other fire. It's a rail fireplace, but it's in the middle of the house, and it's all the wood's all rotted. Like
really?
you can't see it from the front of the house. You can see it from the back of the house. So
Did you ever use that fireplace?
No.
Yeah.
We used
It's
to.
in your dining room, right?
It's in my dining room, yeah. We used to years ago. And then, for holidays, because I always have the holidays at my house, I would put one of those fake logs in there. Like, so you're not always changing the wood and all that other stuff. I would put one of those fake logs in there just for ambiance. Yeah. But it gets hot.
Yeah.
Everybody on top of each other.
I would imagine.
It's like I'm stuffed with turkey and stuffing, and now I'm hot.
Now I'm near people with a fire.
Yeah.
We have a couple people watching us. So Ken McCormick says, good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Ken McCormick. I miss you so.
Yes. Christopher Bethany. Good morning, Sharon and Melissa. Chris Olena and Stephanie.
Good morning.
Or Sophia, sorry. I said Stephanie.
Yeah,
Sophia. They actually started a podcast too.
Oh, good. I'll have to follow that. I did not know.
So if you, follow Bethany Builders, they started a podcast. I saw that.
And they do a lot of, the construction and a lot of additions. And, I'm sure they're in there helping people with repairs when, and I wonder, I mean, it's such a good question for people who do that work. Like, was this preventative? And I think that's what we're talking about today. Was it preventative? I'm sure that a lot of things were preventative if you're taking care of them year after year.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. Well, if our phone number here at WATD is 781-837-4900. Again, we have Tim McKinney, who is our producer in studio today. Melissa and I are at our Boston Connect studio here in Pembroke Center. So, and you can see us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all those great places. So we're saying hello to all our social media friends. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns about this topic, another topic, feel free to just let us know, and we're happy to answer it.
Melissa Clemens is actually watching it as well. She just joined our office here at Boston Connect Real Estate. So welcome, Melissa.
Melissa.
I'm not the only Melissa anymore.
I know. Well, I said that to her. When you're choosing your email, sorry, you can't have Melissa at Boston Connect. It's already taken.
I said the same thing. But yeah, no, she's sort of hit the ground running. She's been doing a really great job and coming to everything and wants to be involved and has gone to a lot of open houses, and she's joined us. So,
and her husband is someone that we refer all the time for this type of stuff, right? So Steve Springhetti, he is a mason and he does all kinds of stuff. And it's funny because I had to have him at my house, and the reason for it was because of this topic that we're talking about, and I brought it up on the radio show. Every year, again, do it daylight savings. I think you do it twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. Walk around your house and take a look at the things that just every day, like I mean, I don't suggest you get up on a chair. And now that we have Mr. McCormick listening, I'm sure he would agree. I'm sure he has been to many a calls in his history.
Someone's taken a tumble.
Yeah. Before he's retired, people tumbling when they're doing things they shouldn't be doing. But just walk around your house and take sort of an inventory of what's going on. And my story, sorry to bore you if you've heard it before, is we were having some painting done, and my painter, Kevin Senna, was on the other, like on the left side of my house, and I never go on that side. There's no reason for me to go over there. Like, I mean, it's where the bulkhead is, but it's sort of, there's no reason for me to go over there. I just never do. And I just went over to say hello to Kevin, and sorry. I went over to say hello to Kevin, and I noticed a big crack going down my fireplace.
Yeah. Going down
my chimney.
Your chimney. Yeah. So the next one is, chimney in your heating system. Like you said, you took a walk around your house, and now that's something that you do every year because, again, how often are you on that side of the house? Never. So you
Steve came to the rescue is my point.
Steve came to the rescue, and now Melissa's here with us.
Melissa's here with us. Yep.
But yeah, chimney and heating. So, book a furnace or boiler service. Filter changes are really important to keep the longevity of these mechanicals.
It's so important. And I did want to, and I saw this in here, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad that is in there because, I do a lot of new construction, as you know, and it's one of in the HVAC system, HVAC, and why am I having stumbling this morning? Glad it's been a while.
It's like riding a bike.
I know. I'm right back here. But, we have all the heat pumps there and everything in these systems. And I tell people in new construction, and it's, one of the things that they recommend from Stonebridge Homes too, is change out that filter every month because of, the construction dust and stuff like that. You would be surprised how much dust and grime gets on those filters.
Yeah.
It's only, the thing is if you don't change them, it's taxing your system. So you know what? Your costs are going to be higher. Your system isn't going to run as efficiently.
Well, also something that I regret not doing is before I moved in, I had my hardwood floors redone, and I have like the grates on the floor, and I should have had those cleaned out before I even turned the heating system on. I did it. I didn't think about it. Yeah. But that's something that I should have had done. And so for anybody who is, having their floors redone, or, like you just said, new construction, that dust has to go somewhere. And sometimes it's down in those grates. Actually, it's something I want to do before I turn my heating system on this year.
And I think that's a great idea. I think I said to you the other day, because I shut the AC off in here for the first time the other day, and I said, Melissa, make sure we put on the list before we put the AC on that we have have all the ductwork sort of cleaned out here, and get that done.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Again, it's to keep the longevity of these mechanicals, and so you're not, having to replace them before their lifespan, really. Okay, weatherproofing and drafts. So what do you have to say about maybe some windows or doors that would help prevent some drafting?
Well, there's things that people can do. They can put that plastic stuff around the windows and everything. Yeah. But, windows are windows if you need new ones. We had to do some new windows in our two-family that we own, and it was pretty, it wasn't huge money to do that, but we did have to replace all the windows in there because they were drafty. But I also think that Mass Save has programs. And I was looking some up before we came online. I see like Homeworks. I am not giving any type of credence or endorsement to any of these. I literally just did a Google search, but I did ask Melissa to already look into having like a Mass Save program, or have somebody on. Maybe we can get Nancy Kerrigan on here. Let's do that.
Oh, is she from what news channel is she from? Isn't Nancy Kerrigan?
Isn't she the ice skater?
Oh, the ice skater. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't she have like a?
Does she?
Yeah, it's something. Wow,
we are on.
I wonder if like Gronk was the endorser of that. If I would remember the name
Nancy
of it.
Nancy Kerrigan. Yeah. For some reason, I thought she was on the news, but no. Now that you say that she was an ice skater, but she has a Mass Save.
Yeah, she has a program. It's called. Yeah. Okay,
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, you do that.
You finish your thought.
Yeah,
and I'll look
I've
up
seen her in
Nancy
the
Kerrigan.
ads. She skates across and says, "We can help you save," something like that.
We're gonna help. And she's like, "Why? Why should I get my home?" No, she doesn't say that. Do you know if you have an interview with her, you can't use the word "why"?
Why?
Oh.
Because of the whole thing when she got
because she
got whacked in the legs that time, and she's like, why? So I guess if you have her on, you can't use that. Which, hey, I get it. Who wants to bring back those terrible memories?
Call Revise spokeswoman.
Revise. Yeah,
our spokeswoman.
Revise the way you save. I think that's the slogan. Yeah.
Wow. See,
Revise
it made an impact
was formed
on you.
in 2016 to service Massachusetts residents.
Yeah. So let's try to get Nancy Kerrigan on here.
All right, Nancy, you listening?
Nancy, if you're listening to WATD this morning, we'd like to have you as our guest so you can talk about Revise. In the Mass Save programs, in all honesty, to bring this sort of back, is that, those programs do a good job. They go throughout your house. They will, help you save energy year round, help you stay comfortable according to Homeworks here, and the benefits. They'll do a custom energy report and saving recommendations and things like that for you. And then you can also, there's a $10,000 heat pump rebate. So if somebody has to replace their heating system, I know we have a plumber in the house and he could probably answer this question better than me. I don't know how easy it would be to take a boiler and make it a heat pump or make it, a furnace into a heat pump.
Oh.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know either.
Huh. All right. Well, I guess I can ask him that another time.
That was your cue.
Oh, well, you know what? Here's the thing. You could also call some of these companies and ask them how it works because there's a $10,000 rebate to do so. So I do know that the heat pumps are very, very efficient. And people get nervous because they're like, all electric? What do you mean all electric? But the bills are very, very cost efficient.
Yeah. So weatherproofing. What are some other tips that we can talk about for weatherproofing?
Oh, can we go back to the chimney? Because one of the things that's on here that I have to do is have my chimney cleaned.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's really important to do. I don't think that Steve does that as a maintenance. Steve Springhetti. I don't think he does do the cleaning of that.
So like professional sweeping?
Yeah, professional cleaning and sweeping of it. I have to have that done, I think.
Well, that's also a question that gets asked a lot, like during home inspections or like after a home inspection, like, oh, when's the last time you had the chimney cleaned and things like that. Which, again, we still have to have Amy come on the show, Amy Masfer from Mahoney Law Group, to talk about what's going to happen with home inspections come October. But that's a question that gets asked a lot. So when you have, a working fireplace, you ask the question, is it a working fireplace? Have you ever used it? And then B, when was the last time that it was professionally cleaned? Mm-hmm. And some people might say, never in my lifetime.
Never, maybe, and we burn a lot of wood, you know what I mean? And I guess maybe that's the difference between burning clean wood and not clean wood. But again, I'm guessing. I mean, in all reality.
Do you chop your own wood?
What?
Do you chop your own wood?
Do you think I chop anything other
than
onions?
You get a delivery, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I answered that.
Except chopping prices down
We're
on
trying
houses.
to chop some prices
Exactly.
down.
Yes.
When I'm negotiating, I can chop some prices.
There's a part of me that could see Marco out back just chopping some wood, but then I realized, no, they get it delivered.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you say, oh, we're good, or no, it's been in the calendar, wood delivery.
Yeah. We have a couple trees that we have to take down too. So, and that is another thing too. I mean, and this would be part of fall maintenance because we are preparing for the winter, and we have huge pine trees in our backyard, and my bedroom is in the back corner, and every time we have like one of those storms that like the wind is just like howling through, I always wonder, like I always look to see which way the wind is blowing because I don't want it to blow onto the house.
I know. I have very tall trees in my backyard, and I get nervous.
Yeah. So that's on my list because I want to make sure that, and this is really good advice when it comes to maintenance for the fall, because the wind is going to pick up, and then there's storms and there's hurricanes and there's all these other things that are coming through, right? Nor'easters. Having somebody out there to trim your trees properly is really, really important. Again, I'm giving no advice for anyone to go up there and do it themselves. In fact, I drive by this house on Plymouth Street, and it looks like the homeowner was doing it themselves. And the ladder, there is like this humongous ladder. Like, it's so tall. It's 3 stories tall, and it's been sitting on a tree for 3 weeks now.
Oh, is it on your street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because there's one near me.
No, on Plymouth Street. So if you followed your street all the way down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the left-hand side, and I want to like knock on their door and say, I think you should take that ladder down.
Well, there was one on, I guess it's technically Holmes before it turns into Center, that they had a ladder leaned up against the tree for weeks. And I'm like, hello? Did someone go up there and did not come down?
They're afraid to get down.
Or did someone forget about it?
That would be me. I probably could get up, but there's no chance of me getting down.
Not getting down.
I just couldn't do it. Yeah. I just wouldn't be able to do
but
it.
finally,
I'd have to call my boys in
down.
red over here in Pembroke to have to come rescue me.
Yeah. It's finally down. So I'm like, okay. But then I have this feeling that it's going to come back up.
Yeah. Well, we are not suggesting that anybody does that. Hire a professional tree company to come out, do the trimming. I mean, they call them widow makers for a reason, right? When these limbs fall, they can really hurt somebody or even worse. Yeah. So definitely have that maintenance taken care of. So,
what do you think about power washing? A house? Do you feel like that has to be done every year or as needed?
I think it's as needed.
Yeah.
And I think it's, for me, the power washing would probably fall in the spring for some reason, just because it's so wet and damp and everything over
sun
the
can
fall.
dry.
Yeah, the sun can dry things off. I am a huge fan of Instabright. I know that they used to have ads here on WATD. I'm not sure if they still do, but I've always hired them. I think that they do a great job. The thing that you have to be careful with power washing, and again, I love that I have so many like friends and clients in the industry. I guess after 24 years that happens, but Fred Falcone from Falcone Roofing, he would probably, if he was sitting here right now and I asked him the question, he would probably recommend that you don't power wash your shingles on your roof.
Yeah.
Or even power wash, not that he has anything to do with this. You don't want
Because they can lift them?
They could lift them, water can get under them, it
Yeah.
can just wear them down. And then the same thing with your exterior shingles on your house, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves that nice fresh look, especially if you have some of that like green mildewy buildup. But you know, people just go out there with a power washer. I mean, Mark could probably tell you how many PSI are shooting out of those things. But
Yeah.
you can see, I've been to people's homes where I was like, so you recently power washed? Yeah. Doesn't it look great? It does. And your shingles are half as thick as they
Yeah.
were. And I see wood all
They're
over
on the ground.
yeah. Like shards of wood all over the place, like sawdust, you know? So you definitely don't want to do that. I mean, you want to, that to me is like a cosmetic thing, right? I want to get the green off of my house. I want to get the green, and they use like a chemical, and I don't think it's like an invasive chemical. And it just, when the sun hits it, it heats it up and it like sort of flakes off.
Flakes it off, yeah.
Versus it's flaking off the material versus the material of your asphalt shingles. But I think it's really important that that's a cosmetic item. Don't try to fix a cosmetic item and cause a mechanical or like a functional error. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Issue.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with curb appeal too. So, you know, a lot of homes that maybe didn't have as much exterior maintenance over the years. Now it's like, okay, now we have to play catch up, and sometimes it's overdone.
Yeah. And
Because
then,
you only have one chance for a first impression. So
yes, absolutely. I love that. I love that saying. And too, I mean, we're talking about maintenance tips and all those other, you know, things that we're good at, staging and maintenance. But at the end of the day, our job is to help, you know, homeowners make good decisions, whether they should buy and sell or, you know, and if they choose to, to help them in that process. But, you know, we're talking about doing maintenance and doing it consistently. It's so important because there's so many times we run into people and they're like, all right, we decided that we're selling. Okay, great. Where do we start? Okay. Like, you know what I mean? And now not only are you doing the staging of the interior and the purging of everything that's inside the house, now you're rushing around. Okay, we have to get the landscapers here. We have to get the pool people here. We have to get somebody to, you know, call Instabright to, you know, do the exterior of the house. Oh, looks like we need a new roof. Should we worry about the roof? Like, if you're taking care of these things over like a little bit, right, over time, and then when it is time for you to sell the house, it shouldn't be as taxing.
yeah, I agree.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Anything else you want to talk about exterior wise? Maybe even curb appeal or anything like that?
Yeah, I just honestly, I feel
Safety.
like less is best. Safety is really like top priority in everything. I mean, we were talking, like I said, I was interested in when our first snowfalls were. It doesn't come until later, but nothing irks me more than seeing stuff out in a yard and then the first snowfall comes and then it's like, all right, well, your big wheel is underneath that snow and it looks like it just
or even
looks,
leaves, like leaving leaves underneath snow is not good.
Yeah, I'm not a landscaper, but I would imagine that leaving all the leaves there and then having snow on them and then the leaves are rotting, I can only imagine that it's just going to lead to a bigger problem come spring. So this is what I mean. Doing little things now are going to prevent bigger things later.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody the phone number here at WATD. We have Tim McKinney in studio. If you have any questions for me and Melissa, we would be happy. And also Marley, if you can see my little Frenchie joined us.
Maribella has joined us.
She has joined us this morning. So if you're watching us online, but the phone number is 781-837-4900. If you have any questions in regard to this topic or comments or even examples, we'd love examples to see what has happened to you and information so we can help others not have that same thing happen to them. But any question with real estate, feel free to call 781-837-4900. And if you're shy and bashful, don't worry. You can always text Tim at that phone number and he can tell us what your question is.
Yeah. Dee's watching us as well.
Hey,
I'm a little
Dee.
late this morning. Hi, Dee.
Hey,
Thanks
Dee,
for joining us.
Dee was sleeping in this
slept
morning.
Safety. I want to talk about safety too. So something that we talk about with smoke detectors is testing them and replace their batteries and we talk about it for daylight savings too. So make sure that your smoke detectors work. I can say confidently that my smoke detectors do work because they go off in my house. So,
When you're cooking.
when I'm cooking. So they work. So just, make sure that because you never you want to prevent anything as possible.
And here's the thing. If you run out of batteries in, the little toy that needs a battery, don't take the batteries out of your smoke detectors. It's never a good idea. Like you're like, oh yeah, I'll just hey, I need a battery for my keyboard. We want to talk about,
want to talk about that?
talk about
You might find it on the floor.
You're like, did you throw that keyboard? I was like, no, I tossed it.
You just happened to toss it on the hardwood floor.
I tossed it over my desk. I couldn't deal with it
As I'm picking
anymore.
up the Control-Alt-Delete buttons off of the floor.
Hey, listen,
I'm like,
I just couldn't do it
I think
anymore.
you tossed it a little too hard.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done with you. It wouldn't work. But don't take the batteries out of something like, you need batteries in your remote control. It doesn't mean you should take them out of your smoke detector because you know what your thought is, hey, I'll put those back in tomorrow or I'll pick some up, and then life happens.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot easier to get up and shut your TV off without a remote control than not having a smoke detector in your home. Can I tell you a scary, scary story?
Yeah.
I have two. So one of them was early in my career. I remember this house in Halifax, and I went over there, and when I showed up, all the smoke detectors were out on the driveway, smashed just all over the driveway. And I was like, that's weird. And then I went inside, and it was not of the best conditions. I think as my career has gone forward and my confidence has built a little bit, I sometimes think about that house, and I just remember this little baby in there, like with the fullest diaper, running around, and it had this like big Saint Bernard, and like had gone to the bathroom, like all over the house. It was just a terrible, terrible situation. In hindsight, I wish that maybe I had made a phone call, and then you can't get involved in people's things. I get it, but I think it was just a terrible situation, which is why I was there anyways. And and I was like, can you tell me what happened with
the
like
smoke
detectors? I mean, you have a 2-year-old in this house, you know what I mean, with like no smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors. And they said, well, they were going off in the middle of the night. And you know what? I think the people who make smoke detectors, I think that they do that on purpose. They're getting your attention at 2 a.m., right? So, they said they were chirping and they couldn't deal with it anymore. So they ripped. And when they're all connected, if you take one down and they're still going to chirp, right? Yeah. So they smashed them all. They must have been in a rage.
Oh.
And smashed them all. That was like 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was awful. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, always have batteries on hand.
Yeah.
And then you can always change them.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And there's a button, and just be careful because there's a button on the back of some of them where it if you press it, that's it. It doesn't work anymore. You have to replace it.
You know, it's so funny because you said that Ken McCormick was watching this morning. And he's just a super friend and like great. And when he was at the fire department before he retired, we had him on the show a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had the fire department on since he left.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have to give them a ring over there and see if they'll join us.
Come on and join us.
And give us some fire safety tips.
Yes, fire safety tips.
Yeah, fire safety tips. So, definitely. And here we brought up daylight savings. I just said it. My niece and now new nephew are going to be closing on their house next week. And I was telling them how, the smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors are exactly where they need to be. The fire department has come in. They have inspected them. And my suggestion is that you change out the batteries on daylight savings twice a year. Just change out the batteries. Batteries aren't that expensive that you can't do that. Make sure, and then it's not going to wake you up at 2:00 in the morning. But again, it's that everyday maintenance that you want to do.
Yeah. We have about less than 15 minutes. So do you want to get to staging? Sure. I mean, you said it like, sure. You love staging.
I do love staging.
You'd be more exciting than that.
No, I'm sorry. My head is just wherever you want me to go, Melissa, that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah, let's talk about staging. So in the fall, what do you think about for like a palette or texture when it comes to sort of staying neutral? I mean, now we're getting into fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, where like a lot of people decorate and it's very specific to that time of year. So what do you think about keeping things neutral? If you're going to be putting your house on the market.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too is like that I have here is like the benefits of listing your home in the fall. So I'll bring that staging piece into that is, trying to get you said it earlier, like you never get a second chance for a first impression. And I just think in the fall, again, I think that less is best. Everybody has their own taste and their own palate. And that's why you do less, right? Because you might love all these big, skeletons that are like making a force on the South Shore.
Oh yeah. They're like 10-foot skeletons. They're like from Home Depot. Like it was all the rage.
It's
and now,
like, they're everywhere, but they never take them down.
Yes.
And, we have things like Halloween things hanging off of trees. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that thing scares me almost every night when I come home. Like as I'm taking the corner there, I don't think it should be there. Actually, I think it's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I can't decorate everybody's house. But less is best. And I think when you do have a neutral palette, when you have a very mild palette and a milder way of decorating, now you can sort of please everybody because if you do too much, people might be like, ugh, I don't even want to bother going into this house, or it's going to give people some type of a feeling, That's the thing, sometimes when I do drive by some of these houses, like I've seen there's like different like signs and like triangles and things like that I don't even understand. I don't even
triangles,
like triangles on flags and stuff. I don't know if it's like a witch thing or something.
What?
See, that's what I mean. So like, I don't know what that means, but like, if I was buying a house, would I be like, who lives here and do I want to be here after them?
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to draw it for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just sort of like, it's like, it could be a Harry Potter thing for all I know.
It could be.
I really, truly do not know. But I don't know why that even popped into my head. But just keeping it less is best. People will also say to me too, when I'm inside a home, this has nothing to do with fall, but it's actually always sad to me when I go into an elderly person's home, a senior's home, and that's my love. That's my jam, right? Is helping, seniors with that next chapter for them. And they'll always say, I have like my statue of Mary, and I have like, my crucifixes and like all on my bureau. Somebody told me I have to get rid of those. And I say to them, do you like them? Do you like having them there? Does it give you comfort having those there? Yes, I love having them. I say my prayers every night. I do my rosary, blah, blah, blah. Then leave them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can do some things. Like, I don't think it's offensive to anybody. I think that anybody coming in and looking at a house and seeing a statue of Mary or seeing something like that on an elderly woman's bureau isn't going to be offensive.
Yeah.
But I don't think having, just certain things I don't think should be
a shrine of Brad Pitt. I mean, if you weren't into that,
exactly.
if he's not your thing, then you'd be like, all right, really, but
I love that. Yeah, maybe take down some of the Brad Pitt
maybe
stuff.
Instead of Brad Pitt, you're more of like a Pedro Pascal kind of lady, like you like the little flavor and not, so I would lean probably more towards Pedro Pascal than Brad Pitt, but
yeah, I don't know who that other person is.
Oh,
so.
you would. If you actually you a picture.
He was in The Mandalorian, for one.
Oh, she wouldn't know that.
Oh,
no.
Okay. More recently, he was in The
Yeah,
Gladiator movie.
He's in the newer Gladiator. Yeah, I'll show you a picture.
Yes.
You know who
Okay.
he is. He's in everything right now. It's like you go to the movies and you're like, okay, which Pedro Pascal out of 5 movies are we going to watch?
Okay.
He's in everything.
Okay.
It's getting a much. But, some people have a shrine. And I'd prefer that over Brad Pitt.
Well, thank you for picking up on and making a joke of it. But that's what I'm saying is like, depersonalizing your house doesn't always have to mean that you strip it down to the bare bones. Okay. So that was, I guess, what my point was on that. But just less is best. You know what I mean? And I think, again, I'm glad we started with the maintenance items, because the maintenance items are what's most important. When you can change the interior, you can cosmetics and stuff like that. But if you have a new heating system, you have the newer windows, and if anyone said to me, oh, well, I really need a new heating system, but I want to do my kitchen over, I would say, do your heating system first, right? I mean, it just makes that much sense, right? Anything else we want to talk about on staging? You must have some stuff there.
I feel like we could do a whole entire show about staging, because it's, it also has to do, like, we could go room from room, and we have before, and we've done the 5 Senses show. And,
I love that one. I love the 5 Senses. Want to do that again?
Yeah, and just as like a little preview now to the 5 Senses, it's also smells are really important when it comes to selling your home, really at any point in the year. But, with the fall, it comes with a lot of like those scents that can be overpowering, and it could be a turnoff.
That, yeah, I don't like when I go into houses and there's the candles are going. To me, like in here, like I have the scent machines, and it smells like the Weston in here, because I love the smell of the Weston, and it's like a tea tree, and but when I go into a house and if they're burning candles, boy, this could be a show just for the fire department. Don't leave burning candles and leave your house when you have a showing. It's just not smart. And, so with that, if I smell candles or if I see a lot of those plug-ins and stuff like that, I feel like you're masking something.
Yeah.
So definitely don't want to do that.
I'm going to call Mary out, because when I lived with Mary, she would light a candle downstairs and then she'd go upstairs to do, clean or do whatever, laundry or whatever. And I'm like, why'd you light the candle downstairs? Well, candles are meant to be lit. I'm like, you're going to burn the house down. Nobody's watching this candle. The cats are going to, set on fire and knock it down.
Cats, yeah.
Knock it down.
Yeah.
So I would go in and I'd go, and I'd blow it out. And I'd be like, oh, I don't know how that happened.
Well, you know what you definitely don't do, and I learned this, I think, from Ken. This is a Ken show today.
This is a Ken show.
A lot of the candles have the wood covers now. Don't put the wood cover.
Don't put the wood cover over it.
Yeah, because there you go.
Boom.
Fire and wood. That's why you put wood in a fireplace.
Yeah, that's why she gets a wood delivery.
That's why I get a wood delivery. Exactly. But we'll do a show on senses as well. I'm writing down some of our shows that we want to do this fall. I love that one. And then we can do a whole one. And here's the thing, when it comes to the decorating, if you put up fall decorations, hey, maybe it is your jam that you want to put Halloween stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, great. Go ahead, do it. It doesn't really matter to me that much. Just take it down.
Yeah.
Then it's time for Thanksgiving. Okay, you want turkeys all over the place? That's fine. Just take them down. If you want.
Do you decorate for? Oh yeah, you want all your Brad Pitt paraphernalia everywhere? Go right ahead.
Yeah, just take it down.
Take it down.
I used to be really good about the flowers and stuff like that on the front porch and the corn stalk and all that. It ended up just so much time to do it all. One of the things I do want to talk about, and I know I'll talk about it quickly, is just the benefits of listing your home in the fall, because I thought that I saw that in your agenda as well. And I do agree that you probably have serious buyers out there, especially as we're getting closer to the holidays. You have serious buyers out there, because who wants to be doing that during the holidays, really, right? So I think that that's one of the benefits for listing your home. And then reduced competition. So that's always better, right?
Yeah.
So if you have more eyes on your home, because everybody decides to come on in the spring. Here's another tip. If you have a swimming pool and haven't closed it yet, get pictures done. If you think that you are going to wait until the spring, or you're going to be putting your house on in the fall, call call your agent and let them know this is when I'm planning on putting the house on the market. So I got a call this week and I'm going to be listing somebody's home. And that is one of the things that's going to be taken care of, is taking pictures of the exterior of the home and the pool and everything before things are closed.
Yep.
Right. So then you'll have those pictures. And then seasonal curb appeal, we already talked about that. Maybe some faster timelines, because this time of year is great for relocation, right? So a lot of that C-level executive, they're doing their moving at the end of the year for the new year, right? Doing interviews and stuff. So definitely you have people with faster timelines. And then the benefits for buying a home is, again, the less competition, right? There's less people out there possibly looking. And maybe you have motivated sellers, just because why would you put your house on the market during the fall, other than if you're listening to us and we're telling you we think it's a better time to do it because you have less competition. And yeah, there we go.
So we have a couple shows that we're going to be doing in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts before we talk about some open houses this weekend?
Yeah. I just think, some final thoughts are great show topic. Thank you, Melissa, for coming up with this. I love sort of coming in here and, being able to read through the agenda, and it prompts my mind for what's going on and what's coming forward. So fall is here almost. But maintenance to me is really important. You want to make sure that the maintenance that you do today is going to help you in the long run. The bigger ticket items that you take care of today, those are the things that are going to give you market value. Okay.
Yep.
People want to buy homes that are more concerned about the mechanicals, the roof, the windows, and those types of things.
Yeah, the big ticket items, you want to make sure that you take care of those over time.
Yeah, and if you ever need me to come out and do an analysis for you, or one of the agents here at Boston Connect Real Estate, of course, we do that all the time. I go to people's homes and I say, no, I think it's a great idea for you to think about selling, or more recently, I don't think it's a great idea for you to think about selling, and maybe you do this, that, or the other thing. Yeah. Feel free to give us a call at the office, 781-826-8000.
Yes, absolutely. Our open houses this weekend, Sam Horton has a new listing at 152 South Franklin Street in Holbrook. He will be there today from 11 to 12:30. That is a multifamily, so it is on the market for $889. Kristen Howlett is hosting an open house at 221 Oak Street, number 18-24 in Brockton. That is going to be today from 2:30 to 4. It is on the market for $299,900.
Is that a condo?
It is a condo. So yeah, is a condo. It's adorable. So be sure, if you're looking for a condo, whether it's in Brockton or not, give it a try. Of course, Sharon and Mary host open houses at Cushing Trails in Hanson every single Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 12, and Cochise Estates in West Bridgewater from 10 to 2.
Yeah, and we have, I think, Faith Birmingham, full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect, is doing one of them today.
Yes, she is doing Cushing Trails today. Mary is over at Cochise Estates today, and Kristen Howlett will be at Cochise Estates tomorrow, and Mary will be at Cushing Trails tomorrow.
That's one of the things I love about having a little boutique real estate office here. Everybody helps everybody out, and that's the way that we like it. So great show.
That's the way we rock.
That's the way we roll, for sure. And if you wanted to find other listings that we have, perhaps they're not having open houses this weekend, you can always go to bostonconnect.com and find all of our listings that we have posted there. You know, and get in touch with our agents. And if you're just thinking about selling a home or buying a home, we always think that a consultation is really key. They're free. Like, I hate saying the word free, but like, I love when people do those because
complimentary.
Yeah, it's complimentary. It's, sitting down and having a plan. It's the biggest investments of your life, is buying a home and possibly selling one. So sitting down with one of our professionals here at Boston Connect Real Estate to go through the whole process is really important. I saw Matt Mahoney in here this week doing it himself a couple times. So that's it. 781-826-8000, bostonconnect.com. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks, Tim. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so Let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say